In episode 1 of the build series, I showed you guys how I prepped the topper for a camper build. I replaced all the seals, the gas struts, and installed a new third brake light. Then in episode number 2, I installed a 12-volt roof vent fan so I could get air moving in and out of the topper and just give me some ventilation overall. Today is episode number 3, and I'm going to show you how I install a Rhino Rack 270-degree awning on the passenger side of the truck. My name is Shane. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my garage. Today was one of those beautiful days in Phoenix. 75 degrees, a little breeze. These are the perfect days to have the garage door open and be tinkering around on the truck. One of my favorite things to do. The awning came with these brackets, but I wasn't going to use these. I was going to mount it directly to my aluminum roof rack. I didn't really need any of the hardware that came with the kit. This was for mounting the awning to a Rhino Rack roof rack. It did come with 2 extra hinges, which was nice, and it also came with an anchor point that you tie the awning to after it wraps around the back side of the vehicle. There's a couple things I want to consider when I mount this. I'm going to attach it to each one of these 4 posts, but I need to make sure I get the height correct, so when it swings around the backside, it clears the third brake light. So I want to make sure I do that. The hardware that came with the awning is not going to work. It's meant to use the L brackets that came with it, which I'm not going to use since I have the aluminum rack on the cap already. So I'm going to run to the hardware store and get some bolts that are probably 2.5 inches long, and that should work out. So I'll be right back. I've used this painter's tape method for so many things. Mounting battery chargers to the wall, mounting anything where you need holes drilled in an exact spot. You just lay the painter's tape out, mark your holes, and then transfer the painter's tape to the surface you want to mount to, and the holes come out in the perfect spot. When you're working by yourself, you often need an extra set of hands, and that's where clamps come in super handy. These will hold the awning just sitting in place while I grab all the mounting hardware and get the bolts fed through the roof rack. This part was tricky, getting all the bolts lined up in the perfect spot at the same time. It helped to drill the hole just a hair bigger than the bolt, so that way each one would have a little bit of wiggle room. All right, guys, I got the awning all mounted up. Let's take it out to the desert and do a little test. What seemed like a great afternoon to get out into the desert and test out my awning ended up being not so great. The minute I got the awning all deployed, big gusts of wind kept coming up. I mean, there was a slight breeze going on, but there wasn't any big gusts. But I swear, the minute I got the awning set up, I started getting some big gusts. So no sooner than I set it up, I had to put it back away and abort the mission. Overall, I am super happy with this awning. Very excited to have a 270 awning. It's so nice on this topper to be able to cover the side doors and the back doors. It's going to work out great. There's that wind I was talking about. Had to put the awning away as fast as I could. Oh my gosh, it ended up being way more windy out there in the desert than I thought it was going to be. I really appreciate you guys following along while I installed the 270 awning on the truck today. Stay tuned for next week's video where I install 3 RV windows into the side doors. I've also created a whole playlist for this whole build series. I'll link that down in the video description below. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. Put them down in the comments and I'll make sure to answer them for you guys. As you know, I'm documenting the whole process of taking this used ARE commercial truck topper and turning it into the ultimate truck bed camping setup. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.